burned out, or betraying your purpose? What if the exhaustion you feel isn't from overdoing it, but from holding back the real you? Let's confront this truth head-on. We've all heard the term burnout thrown around like a common cold. Overworked, stressed, drained, it's the modern mantra. Long hours at the office, relentless deadlines, the never-ending demands of family life. All contributing factors, right? We nod our heads in agreement, silently adding our own grievances to the list. We blame the external pressures, the overwhelming workload, the lack of work-life balance. But what if that's only half the story? What if the true source of your exhaustion lies far deeper, buried beneath layers of obligation and expectation? What if the relentless fatigue, the creeping cynicism, the crushing sense of dread? What if it's not just about being tired, but about being profoundly trapped? Trapped in a life that doesn't resonate with your soul. Trapped in a role that doesn't utilize your unique gifts. Trapped in a narrative that isn't your own. Think about it honestly. When was the last time you felt truly alive, truly energized, truly connected to something larger than yourself? When did you last engage in an activity that made you lose track of time, that made your heart race with excitement, that made your soul sing with joy? When did you last feel a deep sense of purpose and meaning in your daily life? For many of us, the answer is a disheartening, a long, long time ago. We've become masters of the mundane, experts at fulfilling obligations, champions of checking boxes. We've perfected the art of doing what we should do, what's expected of us, what society deems acceptable. We're living lives designed by others, dictated by external pressures, shaped by societal norms. We've become skilled performers, playing roles that don't truly fit us. And in that process, we've inadvertently silenced something vital within ourselves. That inner voice, that intuitive nudge, that burning desire to create, to express, to contribute in a unique and meaningful way. We've pushed it down, ignored it, told it to be quiet. We've relegated it to the dusty corners of our minds, dismissing it as impractical, unrealistic, or even selfish. Because it's inconvenient, right? It might disrupt the carefully constructed facade of our lives. It might require us to take risks, to step outside our comfort zones, to challenge the status quo. It might even mean facing uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the lives we've painstakingly built. But suppressing that inner voice, that inherent purpose, that divine spark, comes at a tremendous cost. It creates a friction, a constant internal resistance that drains your energy far more effectively than any workload ever could. It's like driving with the brakes on or constantly swimming against a powerful current. You are living your life in a way that subtly, yet persistently, betrays the deepest desires of your heart and mind. This misalignment creates a profound sense of unease, a nagging feeling that something is fundamentally wrong. Consider this uncomfortable truth. You're not just physically exhausted, you're emotionally and spiritually depleted. You're suppressing something essential to your well-being. What if the anxiety you feel isn't a sign of your inability to cope with stress, but a symptom of your soul's profound discomfort in a life it was never meant to live? What if the depression you're struggling with isn't a chemical imbalance, but a consequence of neglecting your true purpose? What if the insomnia that plagues your nights isn't a random occurrence, but a signal from your subconscious that you're living out of alignment with your values? What if the part of you that yearns to speak, to create, to lead, to contribute, is precisely the part you've been diligently silencing? What if that silenced voice holds the key to your vitality, your joy, and your ultimate fulfillment? You might begin to wonder if you should drastically change your life's expectations, perhaps thinking you aimed too low and somehow still managed to miss. The truth is, you're not simply tired. You're profoundly trapped in a life that doesn't resonate with who you truly are, a life that starves your soul of its essential nourishment. The first step towards recovery is acknowledging this uncomfortable truth. We are constantly trained to pursue external success, achieve, and act for an audience who may not be watching. We value ourselves by our achievements, bank balances, social media followers, and possessions. We think we'll find happiness if we work harder, achieve more, and improve. This pursuit of external validation is pointless. Performance-based happiness is fragile. It requires external acceptance, satisfying rising standards, and a well-curated image. The never-ending cycle of striving and succeeding leaves us empty, drained, and pursuing a mirage. Because true enjoyment comes from being ourselves, not doing. Actual energy doesn't come from doing more. Being more brings it. Your behaviors should reflect your deepest values, emotions, and purpose. A life that is honest, meaningful, and true to yourself brings it. Think about a period when you felt fully alive, energized, and involved. It probably wasn't when you were tortured by a dull work, a pointless meeting, or endlessly perusing around social media. You were probably engrossed in something you enjoyed, something that challenged you, something that let you express your particular talents and abilities, and something that made you feel connected to something bigger. The transforming power of alignment. Energy flows easily when you're living your purpose. No longer fighting the current, you ride the wave. Instead of forcing yourself to do things you detest, you seek out things you love. No longer driven by external forces, you follow your inner compass. This major change isn't about getting the perfect career, relationship, or life. Perfection is a fiction. Daily mindful choices to connect your activities with your innermost ideals. Even if it means turning down stuff, it's about prioritizing what is important. It's about making time for soul-nourishing activities and connections. Choosing to accomplish something you don't want to requires no additional motivation. You need better alignment with your purpose. Instead of gritting your teeth and pushing through the agony, listen to your soul's whispers, which will lead you to a life of passion, purpose, and profound fulfillment. A live spirit requires air to breathe, space to grow, and freedom to express. Not a machine that needs regular feeding to execute infinite chores. Maybe that persistent exhaustion is the body's way of saying, "We're not like this. We're not supposed to do this." You may not be burned out, but rather hungry for honest expression and the chance to share your abilities. Prioritize what matters to your soul and watch your energy soar. Burnout isn't a predestined sentence. It's a dramatic wake-up call that your life needs to shift drastically and match with your genuine purpose. It's clear you're not managing energy well and need to change direction. Instead of a dead end, it's an opportunity to break free from the performance cycle and live a life of honesty, passion, and purpose that connects with you. This fundamental transition doesn't imply abandoning your job, selling everything you own, and moving to a tropical island, although some brave people may do that. It involves daily, tiny, thoughtful, and consistent changes to progressively align your life with your soul's deepest goals. It could be launching a passion project, exploring a neglected creative pastime, volunteering for a cause you care about, or spending more time in outdoors, connecting with the earth and its cycles. It may entail having painful but essential talks with loved ones, creating appropriate boundaries with demanding coworkers, and saying no, without shame or blame, to energy-draining commitments. It may require facing your innermost fears, questioning your limiting beliefs, and bravely leaving your comfort zone. You may invest in yourself by taking that dream course, learning new skills, and broadening your intellectual and spiritual horizons. Starting is key. To take that first modest step toward a purposeful existence, however small. Allowing yourself to live yourself, express your unique talents and abilities, and contribute meaningfully to the world that resonates with your values. When you finally allow yourself to embrace your objective, something amazing happens. Internal resistance dissolves, energy stores are refilled, and you feel a profound sensation of flow, joy, and contentment you never believed imaginable. You realize you're creating, innovating, and inspiring instead of mindlessly working. You're no longer just surviving. You're thriving, completely alive, and active in the world. Instead of passively existing, you're passionately living, offering your unique gifts and improving others' lives. True vitality requires openly stating your truth, stepping into your power, and embracing your unique potential that has been waiting to express itself. Contributing from your core and aligning your actions with your mission reduces fatigue and boosts energy. Instead of passively recovering from burnout, you make a significant and enduring breakthrough that makes your life a masterpiece of authenticity and meaning. Burnout's root is spiritual, not psychological or emotional. Humans are spiritual beings having a transient human experience. Denying our spiritual essence and living lives without meaning and purpose creates a deep disconnect that leads to burnout, anxiety, despair, and other illnesses. Modern civilization values material prosperity, outward recognition, transitory joys, and constant pursuit. We're constantly told what to buy, look like, and live by others' expectations. External pursuits are alluring and addictive, but they don't satisfy our fundamental needs for connection, meaning, and purpose. Connecting with something greater than ourselves and finding meaning and purpose in our life brings true fulfillment. This may involve investigating your spirituality, practicing meditation or mindfulness, spending time in nature, writing or self-reflection, or simply being more grateful for your life. It requires facing the big, hard questions. What am I here for? My unique talents and gifts. How can I use my talents to improve the world? And discovering your own path to spiritual growth, self-discovery, and divine connection. After emotional abuse, many victims experience burnout and must heal before living a meaningful life. When you actively follow your soul's purpose, your life changes. You readily surrender to life. Stopping to play for an empty crowd is intentional. You purposefully live in perfect harmony with your genuine self. Passion becomes an everlasting supply of sustainable energy from that divine union. No longer about physical rest and relaxation, but about liberating your long-dormant creative expression. Instead of being overworked, most individuals are underexpressed, misaligned, and spiritually lost, desperately seeking meaning in a meaningless world. Despite their objective, they conform to strict frameworks that drain their life power. They steadily fall down because they are tragically out of sync with their divine design, not because they are weak. So what transformative changes would unfold in your life if you consciously stopped resisting your own unique mission? Comment below. If you could relive your life again, armed with this newfound understanding, how would you design it?